Okay, welcome in one and all. I'm now going to be reviewing all of Wednesday night's action in the NHL. There are only 3 games on tap, starting with the teams you see on your screen, with the Ottawa Senators and the Toronto Maple Leafs. So this would actually be a bit of an upset, to say the least. 6-3 would be the final score in favor of the away team, the Senators. In the first, William Nylander would kick things off on a power play about roughly 6 minutes into the frame. Assisted by Matthews and Tavares. That would be his 7th goal of the season. Kubalik would then tie things up roughly a minute and 20 seconds after that. He's getting his third goal of the season. I do apologize. An even strength goal from Clevin and Jarventi, if I'm pronouncing that name correctly. So it was all tied up at 1 heading into the second period. A minute and 4 seconds into that second, Giroux would get his 4th goal of the season, and an even strength goal from Joseph and Stützle. Tyler Bertuzzi would then tie things up roughly over 4 minutes into that second period. An even strength goal, getting his 3rd goal of the season, assisted by Nylander and Tavares. Chichurkin would score to give the Senators a 3-2 lead, just under 6 minutes to go in that second frame, getting his 5th goal of the season, assisted by Stützle and Joseph. So it was all tied up at 2 heading into the third period. 7 minutes and 42 seconds into that third period, Robertson would get his first goal as a Maple Leaf, assisted by Domi and Yarncroke. So it was 3-2 at that point. Kubalik would then tie things up roughly 12 minutes into that third period. A power play goal from Chichurkin and Tarasenko. Less than a minute after that, Stützle would then increase the lead to 5-3 in favor of the Senators, getting his 3rd goal of the season from Joseph and Giroux. And then Giroux would ice the game with less than 5 minutes to go, getting his 5th goal of the season, assisted by Stützle. So 6-3, as I said, was the final score. With the victory, Ottawa is that much closer to being back at 500, sitting at 5-6-0. And with the loss, the Leafs are now sitting at 6-5-2. The next matchup takes place in Washington, where we have the Capitals, and they were playing host to the Florida Panthers. The teams should be on your screen as we speak. So the final score in this one would be 4-3 in favor of the Florida Panthers. It would take until overtime to decide a winner, so therefore both teams were guaranteed to secure at least 1 point. Florida obviously winning, getting the 2nd point in the game. So there were, to kick things off, Mantha would get the first goal. Oh my gosh, I'm getting all tongue-tied. Mantha would get the first goal of the game, roughly halfway into that first period, an even strength goal, getting his 2nd goal of the season, assisted by Protas and Darcy Kemper. Ekman Larsson would then tie things up just over 2 minutes after that for the Panthers, getting his 3rd goal of the season, assisted by Tkachuk and Lundell. Barkov would then give the Panthers their first lead of the game with just over 3 minutes remaining, an even strength goal, his 4th on the season, assisted by Sam Reinhart. So it's 2-1 in favor of the Panthers heading into the second period. In the second, just over 6 minutes into the frame, the Panthers would get a power play, but unfortunately it would go against them, as McMichael would get a short-handed goal in favor of the Capitals, assisted by Protas and Ferheri, if I'm pronouncing that name correctly. And then with just over 4 minutes remaining in that second, Mantha would get his 2nd goal of the game, his 3rd on the year, assisted by McMichael, so giving the Capitals a 3-2 lead heading into the third period. Just a lone goal to report in the third. Rodriguez would tie things up. An even strength goal for the Panthers, getting his 3rd goal of the season. 3 minutes and 33 seconds into that third period. A lot of threes. Assisted by Forsling and Ekman Larsson. So therefore it was tied heading into the overtime period. It was very short-lived, as only 15 seconds into that frame, Reinhart would get the game-winning goal, his 9th of the season, assisted by Barkov and Rodriguez. Obviously an even strength goal. There were no penalties that early in the frame. So with the victory, the Panthers are now sitting at 7-4-1, and with the loss, the Capitals are still above 500, but just barely sitting at 5-4-2. And the last game on tap takes place in Nevada, where we have the Vegas Golden Knights, and they're taking on the Los Angeles Kings. The Kings would get a bit of an upset, to say the least. 4-1 would be the final score in this one. An interesting stat is that the Kings have yet to lose away from home. It's just mind-blowing. You would believe that you'd be more dominant at home than you would be on the road, but the Kings are still undefeated as we speak. So 4-1 was the final score. There were no goals to report in the first, so in the second, 11 minutes and 30 seconds into that frame, Kempe would get an even strength goal for the Kings, his 5th of the year, assisted by Spence and Kopitar. Trevor Moore would get a power play goal with just about 4 minutes remaining in that second period, his 7th goal of the season, assisted by Spence and Deneau. So it was 2-0 in favor of the Kings heading into the third period. Pierre-Luc Dubois would then get a power play goal roughly 2 minutes and 42 seconds into that third, his 4th goal of the season, assisted by Kempe and Kevin Fiala. William Karlsson would finally get the Vegas Golden Knights on the board with roughly 5.5 minutes remaining in that period, his 7th goal of the season, assisted by Stone and Pietrangelo. And then with just about 12 seconds remaining in the game, Kopitar would put the game on ice, getting an even strength goal with 12 seconds remaining, his 7th goal of the season, assisted by Byfield. So with the victory, the Los Angeles Kings are now sitting at 8-2-2. And with the loss, Vegas, they're still very dominant. 11-2-1 are where they stand after this game. As always, if you're new to this channel and you like this type of content, I do videos on the daily. Please feel free to hit the sub button. I'd be very grateful and very appreciative as well. As always, take care.